Where can you find gourmet organic coffees, a friendly hometown atmosphere, and beautiful views of Humboldt Bay and beyond? It's Has Beans Cafe, open every day at 2nd and I Street in the heart of Old Town Eureka. This is Charles Douglas of the Humboldt Sentinel here at Access Humboldt Media Center in Eureka. Today we have a special report from the campaign trail just as things are getting heated up for the November election. The voters face a choice between 9 candidates in the running for mayor and 3 council seats, in a campaign that will determine who runs our local government here in Eureka. We're bringing you the uncensored footage from the campaign kickoff events of Marian, Brady, and Mike Newman. Both candidates were introduced by Mayor Virginia Bass, and indeed, both candidates were involved in Bass's ongoing campaign for Bonnie Neely's seat on the Humboldt County Board of Supervisors. Brady is running for the 1st Ward Council seat currently held by incumbent Larry Glass, while Newman is running for the open 3rd Ward seat, along with fellow challengers Ron Kuhnel and Xandra. Please stay tuned, and don't forget on Access Humboldt every Thursday at 7 o'clock, we're going to be featuring interviews throughout the fall campaign with all the local candidates who are in the running. Mr. Marks, how you doing today?
Charles, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. What brings you out here in support of Miss Brady for City Council?
Well, I'm here with a number of people. You know, they're going to support Marian in this race, and I'm supporting her because she is the yes candidate. She's somebody who wants to try to help promote business in Humboldt County, and I think that, you know, we're at a time and place in Humboldt County where we need to start looking at different avenues of growth.
Mm-hmm. I understand your Democratic Central Committee 4 years ago was pretty much behind Mr. Glass. What's changed your mind?
I'm on the Central Committee. I'm just one individual. I don't speak for the whole committee, and the committee hasn't made a decision on who they're endorsing yet. Mm-hmm. Marian's a lifetime Democrat, and so and she has deep Democratic roots, and so I'm not so sure that, you know, there'll be people on the Central Committee that'll probably be supporting both candidates.
I have to get control of this crowd here. All right, so I want to kick this off, and I want to say I'm Virginia Bass, Mayor of the City of Eureka, but I'm Marian's friend, and I'm proud and honored to be here today to introduce our next Eureka City Council member for the 1st Ward. I had known Marian, or known of Marian throughout the years, you know, doing various community events, but I really got to know Marian when she worked on my campaign for 4th District Supervisor. Marian was there every weekend, knocking on those doors in the weather that was just absolutely unbelievable, without fail, for the better part of 4 months. You know, you might question her sanity, but I knew that she had what it takes for this job. And I was totally impressed by her positive attitude, her perseverance, her commitment to do the right thing, her empathy for what people have to say, and her desire to get the answers to the questions that the voters asked of her. Even more amazing was her follow-up with those voters. I am not kidding when I say Marian would call me and say, you know, you haven't gone to talk to this guy yet, and he really wants to know this. So Marian's got what it takes. The qualities I just mentioned to you are the qualities that we need in our council members. And that's why I am so proud to now introduce to you the clear choice in November for City Council for the 1st Ward, Marian Brady. Well, thank you, Virginia. That is a wonderful, kind introduction. I wouldn't be here today
I wouldn't be here today if I hadn't been working on Virginia's campaign, because it was like an immersion in fire or something. You know, that was the first time I'd ever tried going door to door. People were just, you know, you got to hear what everyone had to say. I wouldn't be here today without working on Virginia's campaign. It made it seem somewhat doable, but you know, we'll see where this goes from here. So anyway, I want to thank you all for coming here today to support me for my candidacy for the First Ward Council member position. And I need to be closer? Okay, it's not tall enough for me. For 30 years, I've lived and worked in the First Ward of Eureka, so I am totally the incumbent of the Third Ward forever. I've been helping with my design business. I've been helping all sorts of businesses, baby startup businesses, to become successful and to prosper in this area. My creativity, my problem solving, I have a positive outlook, I'm optimistic, you have to be, and I have a vision for the future of those clients that are starting off with a kind of a blank slate usually. So we've been going backwards for 4 years, it feels like. We've been losing our children. I'm the mother of a grown daughter who has left the area for Southern California, will probably never come back. We need to do something about getting jobs and employment opportunities up here for our young people so they don't leave. I hear that constantly from people that, well, my kids are all gone, and it's kind of, you feel the loss. So great jobs come from great businesses. We need to jumpstart the economy in some way, and I think we have to start somewhere. I think the somewhere we need to start is right over there, sort of behind that sea of green there. You can kind of see the trains and the pollution and everything that's going on there. So that's the place that I think we need to start. So I see the opportunity to clean up our environment, to bring jobs to our town, and to create the sales tax that pays for a fully staffed public safety elements without having to choose between them and the Sequoia Park Zoo. I think we can have it all if we just work on stimulating our economy. So clean up the balloon track, you see it. The benefits are we protect the environment now, not sometime in the future with some happy, maybe they'll finally stop suing us kind of scenario. So we'll do it now instead of not in the future. The cleanup has been hindered by these lawsuits, which benefit no one. The situation that we have here is we are being paralyzed. I feel like the city's being paralyzed by a few people, and that's not acceptable. We need new businesses and increased tax revenues to fund our infrastructure. The police, a little music background, to fund our infrastructure, the police, the fire, the parks, all the other services. This is what I call quality of life for all of us. So redevelopment funded the beginnings of Old Town like in the 70s. And now it's extended down to, through redevelopment money, it's extended down to the C Street Plaza, the Fisherman's Terminal, all of that. The balloon track will also do that if it gets cleaned up because it's in the redevelopment area, and money's, the worth of something that's blighted is obviously not worth as much as something that's cleaned up and starting to be usable. So those funds will end up in redevelopment, which will then end up being seed money for other projects, which is all jobs, and it's all very happy for the city of Eureka. Also, because I work with small businesses, I see places where maybe I can have an effect at City Hall. People who maybe aren't getting quite the welcoming attitude that they might get, or that their permits, you know, they're not getting their permits through in a timely manner. So I'd like to see City Hall be a little bit more welcoming to new business. And I know personal anecdotes, which I'm not going to bore you with right now, but they're real, and they have resulted in businesses that probably aren't doing as well as they could, but they have persevered. And so now that they've been in business for a couple of years, now they can afford to do some of the fancy improvements that design review and those other boards require of them. I'd like to end the negativity and divisiveness at City Hall. That negativity and divisiveness has probably cost us many top staff. I think it's almost a certainty. I'm hoping that the new council can work together to solve problems. Also, we're entering an era of self-reliance because, like, for example, we don't have street sweeping anymore. And so that means that we all need to do what we see needs to be done. For example, I'm running for city council. That's self-reliance to me. Also, weeding our gutters. That is something that we don't have anybody to do for us anymore. So, I mean, the street sweeper isn't going through there. So, we can also clean up the broken glass that's in our street. Okay. Let's anticipate the law that's going to come into effect in January. I would like to issue a challenge to all of the people who are running to accept a campaign cap of $500. It's going to happen in January anyway. Why don't we make it start now? So I'm issuing that to everyone who is running for council. So this is kind of a short speech. In summary, I'd like y'all, or I think you all are a part of the Brady Bunch. You're just people from many points of view, many political points of view, with the same goal in mind. We all want to make Eureka a better Eureka. I believe that the majority of voters want to see progress and not stagnation for the future. So on that note, remember to vote. Every one counts, and I'll appreciate your vote in November. Thank you very much. And thanks for coming.
Hey, top that!
You know, that's my favorite dog.
Yeah, well, those dogs are so cute. We were just looking at your portraits. Yeah, I had a big phone. Yes. But it's under wraps until it is. I know, you know about that. So,
Tom's Corner.
Tom's Corner?
Like your corner? Yeah, corn. Well, there's a band. There's a band. Oh, with a cat. Same last. How do you guys do? No relation.
Yeah, well, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Interesting speech. Actually, you've got my interest. Actually, yeah. Yes, I got that very clearly.
Non-partisan.
I think you should find people from everywhere. It's everywhere I've gone. It's like just prevailing that my way is right, or else if you don't like it, you should lose it. I'm like, no, I want to try and find out a little about it. I used to have a mask and there was some old council members from way, like just 15, 20 years ago said that there was the city council today is like divisive. Like it's ripped apart completely. They have the Republicans and Democrats basically.
Well, they have far left liberals.
And then you have
I think they're moderate. That's my opinion. They're not extreme.
Well, they're not listening to each other. That's the point. And they had said that, commented that when they were on the city council, there was some disagreements, but they tabled their disagreements for the end of the year. And said, let's work on the things we do agree with and get that done. They accomplished it. And we're not.
So, Mr. Bravo,
yes.
I understand you were going to run for city council. What changed your mind?
I changed my mind because after further inspection of Marian Brady and her political record, I see that she has the right ideas when it comes to freedom, the environment, property, prosperity, and basically making Eureka a far better place for people to move here, to raise families, to build businesses, and have a really great life here. Because after all, we really are one of the greatest places in California.
And is it true you were offered a position in her campaign?
I have not officially accepted anything in regards to her campaign, but I have promised her that I would happily volunteer in whatever capacity she needed me to perform.
I like the Brady Bunch.